So we're taking a look at number 30. And the information that I want to impart is about this lingual wall. So what's interesting about that lingual wall, and we can only see it with adequate magnification, is that first of all, the occlusal part of this lingual proximal wall is diverging. Instead of being vertical, it's diverging, but the gingival part of that wall is actually converging, which is what we would normally prefer. But everything along here is diverging occlusally, and that makes the wall more complicated. So for example, the divergent part of the wall, which is the occlusal third, has an exit angle. When I'm looking down the wall, we can see the exit angle, and it's probably a little bit acute. It's subtle. Probably I'd rather have it more like this angle. That would be more of a 90-degree angle. But again, we only see the exit angle when we're looking exactly down the wall. I'm going to double check something here. Okay. But then when we look at the middle third of that lingual margin there, you can see this angle. So you've actually got an obtuse angle, exit angle at the middle third of that lingual proximal margin, and it's basically like a bevel. And then the gingival third of that wall has some undermined enamel. It has an acute angle relative to the surface. Now, we did work a little bit to get you the next step of going gingivally there, so we haven't gotten rid of the excess in the gingival part of that wall. But the main thing about the proximal wall as you presented it to me is that you have three different areas, occlusal, gingival, and each one of those areas has a different exit angle. The only area that would fail you is probably the occlusal third being a little bit acute, but especially that gingival part right there. For amalgam prep, that bevel would compromise the marginal integrity of the amalgam in that area. But basically, if you were to use a hand instrument at this angle all the way from the occlusal to the gingival, you could take care of a lot of those problems, in about 10 seconds or so. So that would be fine. Okay, so this just illustrates how you can have three different exit angles in three different positions on one wall if you have a couple of different vertical angles at the same time.